Hi guys, wanted to hop on here today and underwrite a deal. This I wanted to show. I tried to do this last week, but it didn't work. Let me make this smaller. I tried to do this last week, but it didn't work. For some reason, I cannot. It won't let me. The Loom will not let me use and display Excel now. I can only use Google Sheets, but it doesn't matter. I have them both uh, in both places. But I wanted to demonstrate, even though I made this calculator right, I just want to demonstrate it's not a one size fits all. And I'll show you some changes that I made on a deal that I did last week, which I tried to record, but it didn't work. I ended up recording um, my desktop instead of what I was actually doing. I don't know. Loom messed up on me. So I'm going to do this one. Um, this is not the same deal last week, which was a multifamily. But the way that the offer that was put in, we had payments that were, instead of monthly payments, they were going to be paid on the back end when he refinanced. So I had to change a calculator to accommodate that. Um, but so today, anyways, this one is not a multifamily. This is a 16 unit um, shopping mall, uh, strip, whatever you want to call it, right? So I think they're wanting 4 mil. That is correct. And I'm just going to put a number in here just to start because it kind of gives me something to base off of for the DS for the loan. This would be a business loan, so it won't be a DSCR loan. Did I put one too many zeros in there? I did. All right. So, and then, again, there's no agent fee, wholesale fee. There is 35,000 for closing costs. No renovations, no loans. No loans. I'll have to verify that. That I have not. So I kind of jumped a gun. I will look it up and see if there is. It'll be in here, right? The insurance is 22. Let me make this bigger. And I can't make it bigger. Yeah, I can. There we go. The insurance is 22,867. Oops, shoot. My num lock ain't on. 22. No, it ain't. 22,867. All right. This will probably be a lot more since this is a commercial. Like again, you're going to have to put those numbers in there, whatever they are. His EMD will be 35,000, which he pay up front. This will be his out of pocket up front. Our remainder fees on the back end. So total entry fee will be 95,000. Yep, that's right. Okay, so we got it set for 20%. Uh, Interest rate might be a little. I'm going to go with the 8 because he may be getting. Let's just stick with 8 because of the loan. It could even be as high as 9. Probably should write it up as a 9. I think I will. Be on the safe side. But mooring method fee will be 18. And all of this in the black, like I said, you can just totally ignore. I mean, not ignore, but you don't have to enter anything in here. The numbers are already calculated for you. So we're going to go over to the rent and put this up here. And okay, So even though it's 16 units, we're just going to put it in one. And then the entire rent, let's hang on. The rent is 781, and that's divided by 12. That's going to be, 65,083 a month. Okay. And then we scroll over here, and that gives a total of $780,000 that it grosses. 996. Okay. So then property taxes is 437. I'm going to divide that by 12. And we're going to put 3120. Just going to round it up. It has property taxes. Here we go. Whoops. Okay, this must have been, okay, that, let me just say this. When you underwrite a deal and then make an offer and then you get another one and you write another deal, it's best to come in here and set everything back to zero. Oops, shoot. Now see, that was a mistake right there because that was an automatic. I didn't want to do that. See, because I wiped that formula out of there when I put that zero in there, and I don't want to do that. So just do that undo right there, and that should fix the problem. But I've had to, sometimes it doesn't, and then sometimes I'll just exit out of it and then not save the work that I've done, which kind of sucks because now I've lost everything I've just done. So, okay. I tried to set everything to zero before I started, and I must have forgot that. So anyways, okay, so we got the insurance in there. 3120 for the taxes. 3120. And then we've got management fees, but like I said, he's going to do it himself. Now this one is a little different. And this is why I'm trying to say this is not going to be a one size calculator fits all. This, because the type of asset that it is, it has a ground lease that the owner has to pay for. And that is a lot of money. So it's 164,835 divided by 12. That's 13. I'm going to put that right here. And we're going to go 13,736. Okay, so now I got to come over here. And I'll show the other thing that this calculator I had to make changes to last week. When I get there, I'll show you that, yeah, you're going to have to come in there and make changes. If you don't know how to do it, you can reach out to me and I can help you underwrite. Otherwise, you'll have to learn to do this yourself. See, Excel's a little different than Google Sheets, so there's just things different. And then this should equal this times 12, 164. Okay. All right. So now, what else we got? I think that's all we got. There was some common area maintenance, but I'm going to leave that under CapEx, which is really over here. CapEx is right here, and this should be change it to 20%. I'm going to leave that like that, um, because he did have a lot of common maintenance, common area maintenance, and since this is a business, I think that would be the smart thing to do, because you don't want to have some serious unexpected cost show up and then you didn't prepare for it and you done spent the money. So I'm leaving it at 20%. And right now we're still at 16%. CapEx was just pretty unbelievable, but and this is a really nice property. So okay. So the seller carry, if we do 20%, our loan looks beautiful. It's 2.1. So we have a lot here to do. What does that look like? 5%. You see, we're still in the negative here. Yeah, we only got 2% appreciation value for this area. So we're going to need a few years to get this to pay off. But let's see. I should make this a little smaller. And we're still looking good there. But we're going to need 10 years. Nope. 20 years. 20. 15 is not going to work either, probably. Nope. Okay, we'll make it 20 years. That's what the other one was, too. It was 20 years. I think it's just because the depreciation value rate is so low. Okay. So we could do that. See, I'm thinking I'm trying to verify. Hang on. I have not heard from him yet. But I think the loan amount was either 3.2 or 3.4. Whoops. Again. And I know that's a big spread right there, and he may not like that. Um, but there's other ways we can get him his money. Hang on. I'm checking the asking price to make sure that's the same. Could be 4.5. Wait. Oh, okay. It is 4.5. So that's a big difference right there. I know I'm being quiet. I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do here yet, but I just wanted to show you uh, the other, um, the other changes I made last week, which was right here and up here. So on the other deal, I still got to think about this. So I'm not going to probably finish this one online, but I just wanted to show you the other change I made. On the other deal last week, um, the seller wanted 5% on the seller carryback, but he didn't want any payments, but he wanted the payments to be on the back end when you refinanced. Okay. So in order to get that down here, I was like, okay, so what can we do? And I know it's a little bit, I made it a little bit more complicated, and I can't go any further. This part will have to be manually put in because trying to ask Excel to do something that really needs to be written by a programmer. And although I do have a couple um, code in here written instead of just formulas, Excel still only can do so much. And now I don't want to be a programmer again. That was a past life. But I kind of understand a little bit. But anyway, so say you get the 5%, right, which is 34.5 a year, and you want back end payments. So I'm going to say yes. So I want to show you why. Okay. So see right now, the back end or the balloon payments are right here, right? Total solar care balloon payments. But if I say yes to this, if I say yes, then those payments got moved over here. Okay. And the reason why that was because there was not enough revenue coming in, and it was a $4 million property, but there was not enough revenue coming in to support the DSCR loan. So if we did it this way, that was great. Okay. But with the 5% in there, the DSCR loan was in pink over here, right? So when I, so what I did was, then I would put this number in 691, 400, right? Let's change that. Because when I go back up here to take this out, right? Because just pretend that this is in the red over here. And because that's what my deal was last week, right? So in order for it to be in the green, it had to be 0%, but the seller wanted 5. So now that we're on a carrying on the back end, see, it moved it. It moved it out of there, right? Although there should be a 0 in here. See, that's, that's more of a, not really, that's more of code than formula. If then else statements. That's what I was trying to get at. But oh well, like I said, I don't want to. What do I? Yes, let's do no. Then okay, so now I'm going to have to fix that. See, there's a mistake right there. That did I change something? What is K? Oh, okay. Because there's no. Okay, I see. Okay, so if there's no, the reason why there's 0 in there because I took this out. It's working. Okay, so 1%. See, now it is. And if I say yes, there's going to be we're not going to make any payments. They're going to be on the back end. Then it's going to move over here, and you're going to have to put that in here. So you're going to have to put that in there. Yep. Yeah, you got to put that in there manually because when you go back no, and you change this to 0, so it fixes the DSCR loan, this will disappear. That's why you got to manually put that in there. And I was trying to get it to be put in there once this was gone, but that would take a lot more code, maybe. And I don't even know if Excel can do it. And like I said, I don't want to be a programmer. So there's that. So, anyways, I'm not sure where we're at on this. We are at 3.2 or 3.4, whatever he's approved for. They want 4.5, so we got to come up with another $1 million, and I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Other than, well, paying 5% for sure. That gives them 35,000 interest only. That's interest only credit payments. So it's, what's he getting down here? 39? We're close. Then probably give him equity. Yeah, maybe, what does 10% look like? 45. Okay, so he wanted 4.5. This place, what's the NOI? The NOI is 564, which means that's pretty good. That means he's getting this cheaper than what it's actually valued at. He could easily sell this for 5.6 and have a 10% cap rate. This is crazy. Hmm, interesting. Uh, yeah, that's possible. What if we did change this to 30%? What does that look like? 49. All right, and we want to change something. What's his cash flow? Hmm, this would work. He'll get 4.6. He's only asking 4.5. I mean, yeah, it'd be 20 years, but hmm, interesting. Um, yeah, depending on what the it appraises for, this value here could change. But I think I'm gonna go with that. Oh, I want to take this out. There shouldn't be any in there. That was for um, the other property. So yeah, this is right above 1.4. All right. Well, I know I get quiet. I start studying this a little bit too hard. But yeah, that's it. Um, if you have any questions or you want it updated, but um, my main thing I wanted to say was depending on the property and the structure that you're doing, this calculator may or may not work. You're just going to have to make changes, or you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you underwrite your deal. So, thank you.